It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Dallas Cowboys and the London BlackKnights. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at the Londoners as they get ready here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Fielded just outside the goal line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And a look at the man under center, now in his 8th season in the National Football League.
And the quality of opponent goes up a notch here in this divisional round. But he's coming off such a sensational performance, I'm not sure he cares. 4 touchdown passes in the last game, and you'd have to imagine his head coach would sign up for that right now.
Now wasting no time, Corral going to the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Corral sets up play action. He finds his man, complete. That's Carroll. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. To the air again, here's Corral. Dances by him, and all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. Back to throw, Corral. Touchdown, Cowboys! Dalton Schultz from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
And you have to figure that this is a confident quarterback who gets the start here. Coming off of a victory in round 1, Team doesn't have to travel. They get another home game here in the divisional round. And I know it sounds cliche, but playing at home, huge for a quarterback, huge for his team. They want to take advantage of it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Caught here by Conley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch in the playoffs. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. Second and 4. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 33. A good pickup there at 22.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Hands it off out of the gun. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the BlackKnights respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. And the QB rating right now sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yeah, that's
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. That time, a 9-play drive. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? A little on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for their first round for the playoffs. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
It becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Up the middle they go. Carroll. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, here's Corral. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up. Corral under pressure, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The fullback dive held up short. And as a result, possession switches hands. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. That is caught by Lamb. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. These two teams all tied after one. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll run on first down with Price. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On second down, a run with Price. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. They'll try and run for this with Price. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They'll try and run with their fullback. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Switching it up. Corral going to throw here. And he wisely will throw that one away. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. On 3rd down, Corral. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll give to the fullback on the dive. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. From just shy of midfield, Corral. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching the bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down.
Number 87. A gain of 4. Second and 6 at the Cowboys 8-yard line.
Now back to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the tackle, defense.
So, Charles, this a defense that hasn't made a lot of mistakes like this on the road to this playoff matchup, but that a bad one there.
Yeah, you definitely want to rattle and shake up the other quarterback, but you know you've got to do it the right way. Otherwise, that cloth's going to be on the ground.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys have now moved out in front. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. They go to the big man, second time he gets it done.
Almost as if they were feeling like he was establishing a rhythm. Give it to him again and again, and how about the end result? Finishes it off in the end zone.
Touchdown, great run, and the score. And McPherson on for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
57 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
8 yards on the pickup.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. 2nd and 1. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They'll look to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown! From 8 yards out, and they're able to add on to their advantage.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
McPherson now for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. A 10-play drive that time. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now Corral on 3rd and 2. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
This offense back to work now late in this first half. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover, as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have a 1st down as they're into field goal range now at the 30. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the BlackKnights continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
McPherson on for the point after. And the lead is up to 18 now. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he's going to get this down inside the 40 before he's finally ridden out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
A 1st down throw here for Corral. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
And his kick here is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, this is the second of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it's going to be one heck of a battle, that's for sure. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cowboys. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for our home team, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Oh, nice move. Past midfield. And finally stopped, but what a return all the way down to the 40.
That's a tremendous start to the third quarter. These guys had their foot on the gas the entire first half. They continue to keep the accelerator down.
And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, it may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. They'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. On play action, they'll throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the BlackKnights take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the number 1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. Here's Corral on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. To throw again on second down. Corral firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Take it at the 37. Pushes him over. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He's got it to the 43 here. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. 2nd and 6. Over the middle, it's complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to zone.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Jermaine Johnson able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Hands it off out of the gun. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
All start.
And the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Corral lost it. The ball is out.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker. 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Corral with it on 1st down. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Corral looking to pass, 2nd down. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Corral to throw, 1st and 10. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Corral yet again going to throw it. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Now an inside draw. This is their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
2nd and short. Is it a no-brainer to think I give it to my fullback and I pick it up?
You would think a no-brainer, but that time able to hit him for a loss.
Yeah, definitely was not a gimme, was it?
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. 3rd down, Corral. Open man Lamb, it's complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down. They needed 3, he doubled that, he got 6. On 1st down, Corral. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Second and 10 now from the 27. Second and 10, Corral. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. 3rd and long, Corral. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Personal foul. Roughing the tackle. Defense.
So roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see.
Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around. And we know they'll be here before you know it.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carroll. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Back to throw, Corral. Flush to, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Fourth down, here's Corral. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And as a result, possession switches hands. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
102 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this divisional round matchup.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
12 yards there and a first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the gun, he'll hand this off. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.